So guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Kofizulu Media. On this note, I wish you guys happy new year because this is my first video for 2025. I also would like to dedicate this video to my friends, colleagues, former colleagues, let me put it this way, and then foreigners in France, especially those of us who speak English. Now, this video is to educate you, okay? It's not to throw malice. This video is out of my own experience after working as a full-time in France for a year. On this note, let's dive into it. Now, watch this video to the end because the fifth point will change your mindset on so many things and it will surprise you. So the first point we'll consider here is job contract. I and you will accept the fact that if you do not have a contract, you definitely cannot work with a company, even in your home country. Now, so in France, there are two major types of job contract. We have the CDI and then the CDD. So I'll take it one after the other. Now, the CDI is just basically permanent contract. So the definition is that contract duration not determined, which means that you have permanent contract. And one thing about French system is that if you have this type of contract, it's very difficult for the employer to actually dismiss you unless for reasons beyond reasons. The employer has to explain to you, and the reason is that when people are out of job, the government in a way is supposed to provide job for these people. So the government makes sure that citizens or people who are entitled to work are well protected, unlike back then where you can be sacked with a text message and stuff like that. Now, the second type of contract is what we call the CDD. This is contract with a duration determined, which simply means that you are contracted to work for some few months and that is done. However, some citizens prefer this type of contract because it looks like the pay is more. Why? There are certain deductions that would have been done on the CDE that with the CDD it is not done. So people who really have long stay will prefer this short type of contract because the money is more. On this note, so if you're a foreigner, what it means is that your choice of contract should be CDE because that gives you job security. Unless you don't have the permit to work, then that one it could be terminated. So the second thing we look at is what? Punctuality. Now in France, punctuality is one of the key things when it comes to job contract, stating that you must, if you are supposed to be at a workplace 6 a.m. you must be there. If you happen to be late 10 minutes 20 minutes, then it means that when you get to work you are supposed to do the difference. It means that you are not supposed to close as your other colleagues will close. You know, we foreigners sometimes you just want to go and do the work fast and leave. No, in France that's not the point. That can get your contract being terminated. If you are assigned to work 7 hours, you must be there for 7 hours. If you do not come to work and you are not sick and there is no tangible reason, believe me, that 7 hours should be taken out of your salary. Simple as ABCD. Now the next point we look at is what we call let's say job ethics. In France, there are very basic things that sometimes if you're a foreigner you think it is normal to do. Like let's say go calling your work colleagues, oh honey, how are you? No, here those things are not tolerated. Don't go asking of anybody's phone number. That can get you fired. Don't go calling employers or employees after work without their knowledge. No, you are there to work and go home. I've seen people being fired because they were asking numbers from female colleagues. So if you're a foreigner, you get to France, be careful about some of this. Don't go asking people about their personal affairs and trivial things. Don't call anybody honey, darling. No. He said no here. You'll be fired. Okay? In France, decisions come from the top. It is like an autocratic kind of system. A is A, B is B. Your work is this. This is what you are supposed to do. Stick to it. Now, I have a problem with some of these things, because it's a culture shock. Let me put it that way. Assuming you had a misunderstanding with your superior or a colleague, and then there is, and this issue need to be resolved. if your superior should report, or whoever report first, is being seen in quote as the person who is rather the victim. So people who understood these things do it very well. So you as a foreigner, you probably be having a conversation or maybe a misunderstanding concerning the job, and you'll be surprised your colleague will just report you. If your colleague should report you, what happens is that you'll be convocated. It means you'll be invited for a disciplinary committee. In fact, before you get there, the letter even states that this can lead to your dismissal. And for me, I think it's unfair. In Ghana, we used to say whoever goes to the court first does not mean that person is the winner. But in France, that's how the system, for me, over 1 year working as a full-time worker, looks like. So if you are planning to come to France to work as full-time worker, you should be careful about some of those things. Don't go having problem with your superior. If he or she reports you, you are seen as the person to be problematic. And the next thing is that you will be tagged as what? Aggressive. So avoid having one-on-one with your superior. Straightforward. Now, this is the fifth point. The labor laws in France actually favors employees a lot, because employees seem to enjoy a lot of benefits. That is why in France most jobs are outsourced. Is why? Because the employers are not in position to pay employees, especially foreigners, all these job benefits. So most of the jobs are outsourced. Now here's where it gets tricky. As an employee, you need to find out yourself what are your benefits. If you do not demand, the employer, like these agencies, they won't pay you. They will just give you your normal salary. You have to find out of this benefit and demand it. And lastly, this is just a bonus. Trust me, if you are not careful and you get a job with a smaller agency, in fact, you will receive your salary on the 15th of the next month after working for a full month. As a finance person, I keep on asking myself, why do you keep my money for a whole month and then 15 days before I'm paid? It doesn't make sense, but you have no choice. So Charlie guys, if you have watched this video to an end, thank you for watching, and I really appreciate you. Do share so that others will also enjoy.